Today I'm talking about processes are efficient, but people are effective. So this is part of the motif I have of treating self as system. So treating yourself like a system. I know it sounds very machine-like, but honestly, it's good to take a step back from your life and look at it for what it is. So look at what you're producing. So from a productivity perspective or from an outcome perspective, trying to understand what it is that you are doing and how effective and how efficient you are at doing it. A while back ago, when I was younger, I read a book from Michael Gerber called E-Myth Revisited. And E-Myth referred to the entrepreneurial myth, which is the idea that people have in their minds about what an entrepreneur is versus what actually has to happen. So in that book, there was a phrase that there's a couple of phrases that have always stuck with me. One of those phrases was that we need to learn to work on the business, not necessarily in the business. Now, I've changed my mind on that a little bit. I think you need to do both. You need to work on the business and in the business, but I think you need to understand the difference. So working on the business, in my opinion, is developing process. Processes are ultimately what drive efficiency in a business or in your life. Like there's certain things that I do during the day and I do during the week in my own personal life that require a process to do. Now, like doing the laundry, let me just give you an example, doing the laundry. So the laundry is obviously not fun, but it does require work. So no matter who you are, unless you have enough money to completely outsource the operation, which in fact, I've noticed that even some of the most wealthy people in the world will not outsource this. There's something intimate about doing your laundry that you're very unlikely to outsource. And unless, of course, you're so darn rich that you can afford to buy new clothes or only wear them once or whatever. But for the most of us, we have to do laundry. So this is a good example because everybody has this in common. So working in the laundry means that I'm doing the process of sorting the laundry, putting the laundry in the wash machine, dryer, ironing, folding, putting away. That's the working. That's when I'm working in the laundry process. Working on the laundry process would be to create an efficient way to do this. So buying a better washing and dryer, for example, buying a better ironing machine, figuring out a dry cleaning service that can pick up your stuff from the door that you need to have dry cleaned. In my case, I came up with a system where I put my workout clothes, socks in one basket, socks in another basket, dark clothes in another basket, dry cleaning in another basket, and whites in another basket. So I have like 5 baskets that I deal with. Now, why did I do this? Because the sorting process was a time consumption and it wasn't very efficient because I'm taking the clothes off or I'm picking the clothes up. Why do I need, and then I put all of them in one basket and then I have to resort them again. That's an incredibly inefficient process. So instead, I sort them automatically when I put them away. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but just think of how much time you spend sorting the laundry. So I've eliminated the sorting part of the process of laundry. Now, I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this, but the point is I went out and bought baskets for this purpose and I lined them up and now I have an efficient process for dealing with the sorting. Now, we have a horribly inefficient process going on right now in our laundry room. Our laundry room is not big enough. It's hard to move around in there. When you to iron clothes, it's impossible in there. So you have to remove the clothes, put them somewhere else. So I could work on that process now. I could work on the business of laundry by fixing the laundry room. But you get the idea. Building processes, building machines, buying software is a way to become more efficient. And effectively efficient means to not waste resources. And in this case, my greatest resource is time. So if time is my best resource, then I need to be as efficient as possible in my life things so that those things don't overconsume time. And then, of course, then I still have to work on the business. Now, let's focus more on a business thing instead of personal. So when you work on the business, you're working on procedures, processes, systems, tools. You're working on things like that to make everything run more efficiently. You're giving your people that work for you a process they can follow that you've demonstrated or proven produces a greater efficiency and gets the result you want. Then when you work in the business, you need to make sure you're spending your time on the most valuable activities or the activities that bring you the most value. So in that case, I want to make sure that I'm focusing my time on making good decisions, picking the right things to do, picking out the correct things that we should focus on, setting the correct goals, communicating and working with people to help them become more effective at their jobs. So I need to be very effective at what I do, and I need my business to be very efficient. And so I think both work hand in hand. You both produce an outcome. But I think it's really important to understand the difference. We work on efficiency, and we are effective in our jobs. And that's an interesting accomplishment, right? I think understanding that process kind of helps you categorize your day when you're working on things. Because I've always gotten frustrated when I'm working during the day and I'm struggling between this dichotomy, this back and forth between doing things that will improve or make things more efficient and doing things that are actually doing it. Like recording this video, I'm working in the business. Like I'm recording a video. Now, after I'm done recording this video, I will have to produce the video. Now, I'm not doing a very good job of it. It's all really rather lame and amateur. But if I do need to spend some time improving my video skills, and that's working on the process rather than in the process. So it's just an interesting way to think. I've started to think this way because it gives me comfort in the day to know that I have to spend some time making things more efficient, and I have to spend some time actually doing the work. And it's okay to do both those things. So anyway, there you go. Efficiency and effectiveness. I think it's a pretty interesting thing. And as you work towards personal transformation, you might want to start thinking about, am I spending too much time working in my life and not enough on my life? With that, goodbye.